stop for everything you need this spring. Don't waste time running from store to store. Flowers, trees, mulch, and more. They've got you covered. Plus, they deliver. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Community Centered. I am your host, Debbie O'Handley, with my friend Margi Kyle. Happy Easter.
Thank you.
A day or two late, but never not meant to be.
Yeah.
Something that I wish you all the time.
Thank you.
And you got through yesterday?
I did. It was
of you.
hard, but it was beautiful memories, and that's what gets you through.
Perfect.
And
Wonderful.
gratitude is my biggest word lately. So
There you go. That's
Yeah.
the word of the year for
yes,
you.
it is.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I am excited about today's show because we're talking about my favorite thing.
Hope.
Hope. It doesn't get any better than that. And so hope
and
if
my
you're
granddaughter's
listening.
going to call in and talk about the art that she's
I'm
doing for you
excited.
in Hope House.
Do we have pictures?
Well, the one that I gave you.
Yes.
And I don't know. She will have pictures.
Okay. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So we have finished the build on our Journey house and our Courage house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes built in Huntersville. That makes our 9th and 10th house
Oh, I'm proud of you.
that we have. And we have 3 more lots to go, which will be 13. So we'll have to build a 14th.
Yes.
You just can't have 13
You
houses.
can't end it on 13.
No, you can't. And so I'm excited to get them decorated and get people in them. We've got a few little hurdles to overcome, like putting in a road, but hey, that's just putting in a road is no big deal. And once that's in, we will be moving folks in there where they can participate in our program that we call Hope Works, where if you are working, we will work with you to get you where you need to be 2 years from now.
I just think that is wonderful.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited to know who those families are. They haven't been chosen yet, so it will be
Okay.
interesting to find out who those lucky people are going to be.
Yeah.
So, and we will be doing an open house, and as soon as I have that information, I will go live on the radio with that as well. But yes, so our guests today are all about hope, and like I said, that is my favorite word ever, because where would we be without hope?
I don't know.
I sometimes when I talk publicly, I always ask people, "What does hope mean?" And a lot of people don't have an answer. They just kind of well, I kind of think I know what you're going at. Like, what does hope mean? But at Hope House, what we say, hope, what does that mean? It's a gift that's invisible, but yet can be seen. And I think after today's show, what our listeners will learn is that the folks at Hope at the Lake Foundation are truly making hope visible. And to me, there's nothing greater that you
Well,
can
this
accomplish.
is why it's such a beautiful place to live.
Well, first off, I think that's incredible that we can ignite a community to come together around the word hope to help those people that are less fortunate or in need of something. And I know we're going to hear a lot about their organization today and what they're doing, but just hope makes me feel so much better. So
It
I
does.
hope that our listeners, as they're driving today, are thinking about things that make them feel hope-filled and what unites them and what brings them together. And then maybe they can smile because they're feeling hopeful. So, what's going on in your world?
Well, just getting over yesterday was a big hurdle for me because
Yeah.
it was 2 years since my husband has passed.
You seem a little lighter today
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I know that was weighing
And
heavy on you.
it was because I wasn't sure how I was going to react.
Mhm.
And I was pretty darn proud of myself.
Well, remember what I told you? It's just a number,
Yeah.
right? And there's
Yeah.
more anticipation about the number until you get there. And then when you get there, you're like, I'm here. I'm okay. I made it. It's number 2. And we
And
can
then,
move
going to
forward.
church on Sunday was just such a moving service.
Sure.
And I got there a little late, so I had to sit in the front row, which
Ruh-roh.
was wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it because I was right there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then my son and my daughter-in-law have been tremendous. Had me over for Easter dinner, and
Nice.
he cooked up a storm. So then I took them out for dinner last night as a thank you. So
Fabulous.
yeah, it was good family time. And then my daughter comes on Friday.
Good.
Yeah.
good time for family.
So,
Well, we had Elevation Lake Norman celebrate Easter with us on Saturday at Hope House. So we had an Easter egg hunt with 19 children, and we are a 4-acre property, but I was standing guard at the road. Please don't anybody run up this way with trying to find the eggs. So that was super fun, giving kids that have never had an experience like that before the opportunity to have the freedom to,
that's right.
celebrate and to understand that this is what normal looks like when you're living in a home of people that care about you.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that was good fun with them, and boy, it's been hot.
83 the other day.
Yeah, it's been. We've had to turn the air conditioning
Yeah.
on, and this is crazy bipolar North Carolina Lake Norman weather of people I think have been actually swimming in the lake too. So, okay, that's all right.
Well, my son's been swimming in his pool.
Has he?
Yeah.
That's what
And I
it's
said,
all
go
about.
for it.
That's all. That's the only way you can
Just
rinse.
don't ask me to go in.
It's the only way you can rinse the pollen off.
Oh, it's getting better.
Much better.
Yeah, it's getting better.
Much better. Well, I was thinking about the Pope and him passing away
Wow.
right after Easter.
I
And I'm
know.
thinking, what a significant thing that is. Have you seen the movie The Conclave?
No.
I recommend it,
Okay.
especially now, knowing that we will be going into a time of trying to figure out who the next Pope is. I'm not Catholic, but watching the movie was, from a historical
Yes.
standpoint, very interesting about learning about the entire process of choosing the next Pope. So it is a time of hope and anticipation.
And certainly regrouping, because I was listening
absolutely.
on the radio. They're looking for somebody maybe a little different.
A little different,
Yeah.
something a little different.
So-
So I think we need to all collectively lean into that word hope,
Yeah.
because, some of our non-for-profit partners are feeling a little bit of pressure and a little bit of stress with some government cuts and things like that. So I think that being hopeful and also leaning into something different might help.
Yeah.
Us feel a little bit better about sometimes. So yeah.
Jocelyn is having trouble getting on.
Okay.
And if Bill wants to come and take my phone, he can call her.
Or we can just start our interview and let her just call in whenever she gets
Okay.
on.
That's fine.
It's nice to plan, but you know what? Hey, it's also good to
It's
throw
radio.
throw a curveball our way. So we
It's
love a
called life. It's
curveball.
called life.
Well, why don't you introduce our guest, and maybe if she jumps on, then we can just stop there and talk to her, and we'll continue on after commercial break.
Okay. Well, I have known Heather Mueller for, I don't know, how many years? 4 or 5?
Oh, not that many. A couple of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have 1 minute to left, and the other guest is Forrest Wilson, who is the president of Hope at the Lake Foundation. And I really can't wait to hear what you both do. I love your mission. Hope at the Lake is a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to improving the lives of our Lake Norman neighbors in need. A mission is to facilitate a community of caring by connecting Compassion Donuts with immediate community needs. Wow. I can't wait to hear how you got that started.
When we come back from commercial,
Yeah.
we'll hear all about it. We'll be back shortly.
There's more Community Centered, presented by Macintosh Law and hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the warm weather hanging around as we stay in the upper 70s to near 80 for the next several days, but not necessarily the dry weather hanging around. Don't forget the rain gear on the way out the door over the next couple of days. It won't rain all the time. In fact, far from that. I expect there to be more dry time than wet time, but just be ready for the occasional shower or a pop-up thunderstorm over the next couple of days. 1 or 2 of those could be strong this afternoon. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. This Saturday is the Spring Taba Walk in Old Town Cornelius. The area's premier arts and music festival is a fun-filled event with something for the entire family, including 2 stages of live performances, local artists and vendors, craft breweries, food trucks, a petting zone, kid areas, games, giveaways, and more. We'll see you Saturday in Old Town Cornelius for the Spring Taba Walk. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by Trax Trio. The trio will cover a wide variety of music from a range of styles and genres, plus include their own original music. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details on live music this Saturday night. Join Eastwood Homes for the grand opening of Peyton's Creek in Statesville on Laurel Cove Road, May 3rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Discover stunning 1 to 2 acre home sites, explore Eastwood's Build on Your Lot program, and enjoy tasty food, sweet treats, music, games, and family fun. May 3rd, don't miss this exciting community celebration. Hey Lake Norman, Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar is having their grand opening on Tuesday, April 22nd at their brand new Cornelius location, 9623 Bailey Road, Suite 101. Come out, try one of their amazing fresh smoothies, and while you're there, enter for a chance to win free smoothies for an entire year. Get the details and enter online at pulpjuiceandsmoothie.com. Again, that's Tuesday, April 22nd. See you at Pulp Cornelius. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Merlefest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Floors, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The War and Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the community center discussion on 1059 100.7 WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Welcome back. We are thrilled to have you back with us. We have a call in. It's my granddaughter, and I can't wait to have her on. She is doing something spectacular for Hope House. Josh, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
Hi, how are you?
good. I am great. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay. So you got into art and now you're doing pottery. You're teaching it. And how many years ago was it when you graduated and you did your final, that 3-piece stretch canvas that we donated to Jeff Gordon Children's Hospital?
Yeah, that was part of my thesis show at Florida State, and that was 2017.
And then you came for a visit not too long ago and said, I want to do something more for somebody for Little Smiles. And I said, Hope House is what you need to do. So tell us a little bit about your inspiration for that painting.
So this piece, actually just so I served 5 years in the military as well. And kind of coming back to that and realizing that creating is a meditative process for me, I kind of dug into that. And this piece is actually what's called an intaglio print. Intaglio prints are basically creating inkwells, and that allows you the opportunity to change colors and change the piece when you actually have a physical plate to print from. So I dove into this piece, got a lot of fine detail, and that was kind of that meditative process, kind of just moving into healing and thinking about what our community needs in general. So somebody had told me once, looking at a piece that I had made, that all the detail made them really calm. So in doing that, I dug into this healing mandala and just made a bunch of little tiny lines in that process of intaglio, and got to really meditate and make it for myself, and hopefully that would be felt for whatever viewer was seeing it as well.
And that's the picture on your business card too, isn't it?
It is. Yep. I kind of toyed with a bunch of different ideas. I have a lot of different drawings, and I always come back to this one. Mom's a nurse, and she's given this print to a lot of people that she worked with. She worked at hospice for a while, and she would constantly come back to me and be like, hey, can I give this to this person too? So I just always come back to this image.
Well, and Debbie took me over to the 2 houses where they're going, and I took a picture and then put that picture on the wall so she could have a fairly good idea. What are your thoughts, Debbie?
Jocelyn, I'm looking at this picture. First off, I can't thank you enough for helping us make hope happen. You are now an official hope dealer. So I hope you take that honor and put it after all your
Oh, that's
letters. But
beautiful.
the one house, we have two houses. The one is called Courage, and if I heard you correctly, you said you did 5 years in the military, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes, I did.
the
Yes.
name of the home is Courage, and it is the donor wanted it named after her husband, who was in the military. He passed,
Oh.
but during that
Mhm.
time, she said to him, "You just have to have courage." And so she wanted to honor him and his legacy. So
What a
we have the
beautiful
Courage
story.
home that your painting will be hanging in. And the other house that it's going in is called the Journey Home. And so we talk about what these folks' journey is like going from homeless to becoming a homeowner or being put in a home. And I'm looking at what a tapestry this is. I see many hearts, I see some
Yeah,
birds, I
I see
see
the bird. Yeah.
lots of different things in there that represents their journey. Even the little bit of sort of the black heart, of some of the challenge they have. So
Mhm.
I love it. I love it for so many reasons that you thought, number one, to bless us with such beautiful gifts. Number two, that you are Margie's granddaughter, and I will always smile when I look at that and think of what you're doing. And I'm just so honored that you would choose to bless the Hope House Foundation with such a gift that could inspire someone someday to really think about their life and think about what they're going through, and in such a beautiful, colorful way. So thank you so very much for doing that. You'll have to come see them.
Yes, and bring another one
I
for
would love
me.
to.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
oh, now Margie's going to get greedy, and now
I
she
am getting
wants
very
it.
greedy because I love it.
It's
I
always nice when people turn to shopping. Yeah, they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh."
That is
It's very
beautiful.
sweet.
Well, in one of our cottages we have, it's called the Grace Cottage. Someone had done an original art of an angel called the Grace, and she hangs on the wall in the what would be the mom's bedroom. And many times we've had 4 families move through that house. Each one of them has said, "I sleep so good knowing
Yeah.
that angel
Yes.
hangs over me." So now I
Absolutely.
think coming into the welcoming space of this new home with this beautiful artwork on it is really very significant. And so I'm so honored that we will be able to hang it and make a big deal for you.
I share in that honor to just be in this position at all. It's been quite a journey, as you know, being in the military and being like, "Oh, this isn't it. So what else can I do?" And very appreciative for my service, but very appreciative to be here and be able to give back. So
Well,
thank you for the opportunity.
we have a female veteran at the house right now. She was in the Army and became homeless after her service was over, and we just have to do a better job.
Yeah.
We have to do
Yeah.
a better job of
Yes.
taking care of our veterans. And so
I agree.
we've had actually several veterans that have come through, female veterans that have come through the Hope House that have not only been veterans but are mothers as well. And so coming alongside of them to serve better because they served our country is something we got to get better at. So I will be inspired by you and think of your story when I advocate and become their voice of moving mountains for them so that they can get stable.
So you have to come back for another
Absolutely.
visit.
Yeah, that would be
I would love
awesome.
to. I'm actually also working at Florida State at the Veterans Center, and I do processing of veteran benefits. So we should continue this conversation so we can continue to do better.
Well, I have one of
Well,
my
God bless you.
one of
We're
my
proud of
former
you.
veterans works at the VA here in Salisbury. So she was a former police officer in Guantanamo Bay,
Wow.
and now
Oh, wow.
she's got her own home and working at the VA. So yes, let's continue talking as always.
Absolutely.
I think
Yep.
this is incredible that you did this. So thank you again for honoring us and honoring the Hope House,
That's right.
honoring our
Of course.
community.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank
You're the
you.
Absolutely.
best.
Yep. Me too.
Thanks. All right. Bye bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. I hope you all have a beautiful day.
You too.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
She has the same laugh.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, we're back with Hope at the Lake Foundation. And Forrest, tell us a little bit. I think we have a few minutes left. How it got started, when it got started, and you're the president.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you guys for inviting us here on this day of hope and this um, I guess, radio show of hope, and we appreciate it. But Hope at the Lake got started 25 years ago, so it was back in 2000.
Okay.
There was a gentleman here in the Lake region who unfortunately got brain cancer and passed away, and his friends threw a big golf event to raise some money for the hospital up at Duke. And they raised about $60,000 that first year and sent it up
Wow.
to Duke to support their efforts up there. And that was such a success that as the next year rolled around, they decided they'd do it again. And they started thinking, hey, why don't we, instead of sending the money up to Duke, which is certainly very important, but is funded by other sources and significant aspects, what if we help the Lake region?
Yeah.
So that became kind of the mission. That's when the 503C was formed. And really when Hope at the Lake became Hope at the Lake Foundation. And the mission is to support local charities. And we can get more into that in a few minutes. But that's what we do. And we've been doing it for the last 24 years. I've been involved for the past 7 years. And I think it's fair to say that over those 24 years, we've kind of some years have been better than others and so forth. And, we've really been on a roll lately. The past, about 8 years ago or so was probably at one of the lower points. We raised about $30,000 that year. Since then, we've been building the board up, building the interest, building
Okay.
our community of donors.
What
And
sparked your interest to take it over and take it on?
well,
Good question.
yeah,
I'm sure you love the mission.
Yeah, I mean, like all of us, I think I've always tried to give back. So
Yeah.
whether I was a big brother in college or
Right.
different volunteers. So when I moved to the area, I was looking for a way to get involved. And through some friends, I found Hope at the Lake, and it really resonated with me because it has such a broad reach. You're not just focusing on one charity; you're focusing on many, and that really appealed to me. And then from there, it's just kind of grown, and it's been extremely rewarding because as I think you and maybe many of the listeners would agree, when you give back, it feeds your soul.
Sure does.
It gives you back, multiple folds of what you put in, and that's been not lost on me, and it's been an important part. And Heather's, you'll hear from in a minute, is here with me today. We have a fantastic board, and we've formed really close friendships. So it's social as well. We're helping the community. We have fun together. We do good work. It's 100% volunteer.
And what's your other job?
Well, I'm a director of a publicly traded company, so I run a division for
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's busy, and I think that's the challenge a lot with local charities, and it's something we talk openly about.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of us work, and a lot of us have families. There's a lot going on.
But if you've
It's
got a
100%,
strong board, it sure does help.
Absolutely. I can I come hat in hand every board meeting and thank
Yes.
our great board. It's a total team effort, and everybody has a different focus, and that's what makes it go.
Yeah. Good for you.
How many people are on your board?
Right now we have 10. It's
Okay.
kind of fluctuated. We fluctuate between 8 and 12 generally, and we talk openly that it is a working board.
Good.
So everyone who comes on needs to have a responsibility on the board, and we talk to them about what they're going to do and
Yeah.
what the responsibility is. So we warn people, if you show up to a board meeting and it goes well, you might be voted on the board.
Stay with us. We'll be right
We'll
back.
be right back.
So we'll come back
Community
to you.
Centered, presented by Macintosh Law with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle. We'll return after this short break on 1059, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, the warm weather hanging around as we stay in the upper 70s to near 80 for the next several days, but not necessarily the dry weather hanging around. Don't forget the rain gear on the way out the door over the next couple of days. It won't rain all the time. In fact, far from that. I expect there to be more dry time than wet time, but just be ready for the occasional shower or a pop-up thunderstorm over the next couple of days. One or two of those could be strong this afternoon. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Listen up, Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. So let's do it again and get vaccinated. We're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults under 50. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit vaxassist.com to schedule. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Serving Lake Norman and the Charlotte area for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted source to get you ready for a warm and cozy winter. Experience the feeling of Visit hornhvac.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Harness the healing power of horses. With the amazing staff at Willow Equine in Mooresville, we create a supportive environment conducive to healing and growth, dedicated to self-discovery and overcoming adversity. There's a program for you at willowequine.com.
Are you sick of running out of hot water? Whether it's in the middle of a shower or doing dishes, cold water's never fun. Say goodbye to those surprises with a Rinnai tankless water heater from GMV Energy. This energy-efficient propane-powered solution heats water instantly, so you'll never run out again. Plus, it saves money and frees up space. Propane models start at just $295 after rebates. Visit any G&B Energy location or gbenergy.com to learn more.
Have you taken the DESCO Challenge? DESCO is where the professional goes for electrical supplies.
My name is Ashley. I just redid the lighting in my home, and the customer experience at DESCO was second to none.
See for yourself at DESCOInc.com.
Kane Center for the Arts. We're more than a venue. We're the heart of creativity in the Lake Norman region, bringing exceptional visual arts, performing arts, and unforgettable gallery experiences to our community. Discover the difference. KaneArts.org.
Spring has sprung, and so have the savings. Drum Landscape Supply is your go-to for mulch, stone, sand, and specialty plants. And they're offering 50 to 70% off pavers and natural stone. Your dream landscape is just one stop away. Hurry in and save big. Only at drumlandscapesupply.com.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. There is still anxiety on Wall Street about tariffs, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent's comments have eased some of those woes. He was heard behind closed doors saying that the tariff standoff with China is unsustainable and would soon de-escalate. Stocks are up today between 2.1 and 2.4%. Swiss drug maker Roche plans to invest $50 billion in the U.S. over the next 5 years as it weighs the effects of President Trump's tariffs on imported pharmaceuticals. The company says the money will create 12,000 jobs and will be used to create research and development sites and expand its manufacturing footprint. The White House is reportedly mulling a move to match U.S. drug prices to what consumers pay in other developed countries. Reuters cites people at two companies familiar with the matter. U.S. consumers pay the most for drugs than any other developed nation, sometimes nearly 3 times the cost. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
The #1 station for people who say we're their favorite station.
WSIC.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to Community Centered, and we are talking today with Forrest Wilson, president of Hope at the Lake Foundation, and Heather Mueller, who is their charity liaison. Tell me, Heather, you are new in this role. Why? What brought you to Hope at the Lake, and what is a charity liaison?
Well, what brought me to Hope at the Lake was the fact that I moved here about a year ago to Mooresville, and I was really searching again for something that could bring me back to a community where I had raised my children. We had gone away for a long time, and I had lived here for about 15 years. I was very involved with charities, and I had such a sense of, I guess they call it the helper's high. Have you ever heard of that term? Where I felt fulfilled, I felt happy, I felt a sense of purpose. And I think during the pandemic, that kind of went astray a little bit. And when I found Hope at the Lake, it was a gentleman named Frank Baldesser, and Frank is a powerhouse. He's on our board, and he has done a lot of the fundraising and the bigger events that we have. And he invited me to their fall gala last year in October, and I was completely and totally impressed with the professionalism of the people that put the program on, as well as the generosity of all the people that attended. And I just knew it would be a great opportunity for me to get involved with many different charities to see where I
Yeah.
could give back. And so I joined in December pretty much, right? Yeah.
And so, what role does a charity liaison play? What is your responsibility?
So, as a charity liaison, I'm responsible for promoting Hope at the Lake to various charities, nonprofits in the community. I like to get the word out that we're here. We have an opportunity for the charities to go on our website and apply for a grant. And since I've been involved, I've been actually going out to the different locations where the directors are serving and getting to see what they do in their home base, I guess
What
you
is
could
your
say.
website?
It's hopeatthelake.com.
Hopeatthelake.org.
.org,
Yes, that's what I thought.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, I think those are primarily some of the things that I do. And I think I'd like to say that as a charity liaison, I develop a partnership with these charities, because I know as I sat with some of the directors over lunch, we've talked about ways to help them with strategy or help them with marketing. And I know that in our community, there's a great deal of people that want to volunteer and give back. So we try to connect volunteers with people that are doing the great work in our community. And I think as a whole big unit, there's a lot that we can do.
So anybody can go onto your website and download the grant.
The grant application.
Okay.
And a lot of them I have some familiarity with, but if there's something new, then I take a lot of time in researching and vetting it. And I've gone several times to the location to understand and question. And I think we have to be good stewards of the donations that we receive.
Yes.
And I think overall, I mean, we have a great diversity of backgrounds on our board, and I think we do a great job in really knowing who to work with. And I think that's a challenge. A lot of people want to donate, but they don't know where.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I think an advantage to working with the foundation is the fact that we have the relationships and we know when there's an emergency situation, and we're the hot button to be there to serve them right away when they need help. And some of those are tragic situations that we're faced with. So
Tell us about some of the organizations you've partnered with before.
So we've partnered with Christian Mission. We've done some work with them in their, I know you can remind me when this was again, because I just started in December, but there was a program where we assisted with apartments, the utilities and the, what is it called? It's utilities, and we helped them with their payments. And
Rental
Christian Mission
assistance?
does. Rental assistance, there we go. And it was in a situation where we were able to help 460 some people not get evicted. And you think about how the community foundation also helps. There was $17 million worth of fees that would have been applied through taxes that our donations waived because we were able to support them. So that's something with Christian Mission. Feed and See, we do a lot of work with them. One of the local churches donated a food truck, and we were part of their summer program where we were able to assist by taking that food truck, and we supplied the funding so that they had the food to bring to the children that were food insecure, that weren't getting the produce and the meals, the healthy meals at school. And we were able to bring them directly to the parks, directly to the schools in the summer program so that they weren't missing out. Because a lot of these kids don't have meals. And, that's hard to imagine, but they're not always getting fed. And I can talk a little bit about one of our, I was going to say the Hearts and Hands. I know you're involved with them as well.
Absolutely.
But one challenge that they faced that we really worked with recently was the fact that the current administration has taken a lot of the funding away. The USDA took $1 billion worth of funding out of the resources that Hearts and Hands, and this is a foundation that's been available for 7 years, and they've supplied over $100,000 worth of food to meals to people that have food insecurities. They go out to programs like Hope House and others to supply the food and fill their refrigerator. They have a refrigerator program. People can come in just like a food pantry. And I was there last week, and these special touches are so important because I saw the bags and I saw happy birthday and I saw nice to see you last week.
Yeah.
And these are people that are volunteering that really care about the people. It's not just pushing food in and out.
That's right.
And I think that's
the other
so
beauty
special.
about their program is that you don't have to come and be qualified. A lot of the other programs that you have to bring in your social security number and your income qualification and all of this, where Hearts and Hands Food Pantry, you can just come and come hungry and they will fill you up. But when some of their pantries are not being filled right now, they have to turn people away and not be able to give them food, and that's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Another charity that we work with is Cool Kids Clubhouse, which
Oh, I
is
know
similar
it well.
to Smiles, a Little
Yeah.
Smiles. And we had them out at one of our receptions recently, and we do these Circle of Hope receptions. And I could tell you there was a little girl who had just gone through being diagnosed with brain cancer since she was born, and she was about 5 years old or so. But when she was up there with her mom and they were talking about all the help that we've given them and so forth and her journey, the little girl was shy, but she would run to each of the members, Tom Barrett and to Chris, the founder, and the other woman, and love and hug on them. And that just shows you that the people that are working and these nonprofits do it because they're passionate and they really care about the people that they're
It's about
working
the
with.
relationship.
It
It
is
truly
about the
is.
relationship.
It's not about
Yeah.
the numbers, but about the amount of people that you can touch and build trust and love with them.
Mhm.
I think that has a big impact on it. So when you're out there and you're learning about these different charities, and there's so many to choose from, right? This is a
Yeah.
beautiful Lake Norman area
It
filled
is,
with a lot
yep.
of charities. How do you choose who to partner with? What are some of the criteria you're looking for?
We try to base it on what the immediate needs are. It's hard because everybody does something good in a different way. And you can look at somebody like that might affect 300 people, but they do 24/7, 290 days a year. And that's tremendously impactful because they're changing lives, where you might have another group that feeds hundreds of thousands of people. And that's critically important. So I think as a group, we try to focus on what we're getting in as grant applications and try to make sure that we're going into each subset and trying to represent it.
Yeah, and I would just chime in and say this is a topic that we've discussed a lot as a board over the years, and there's been times where we tried to make a science of it and have strict rules, but we've landed in a
It's
place.
too hard to do.
Yeah, you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
But we do have some guiding principles, and we take it we're stewards of our donors' money, and they're counting on us to deliver it effectively and timely in a meaningful
time
way.
is
Let's
flying
pick up on
again.
that when we
Yep.
come back from break. I think that's incredible.
But that
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join the community center discussion on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Presented by Macintosh Law.
Well, the warm weather hanging around as we stay in the upper 70s to near 80 for the next several days, but not necessarily the dry weather hanging around. Don't forget the rain gear on the way out the door over the next couple of days. It won't rain all the time. In fact, far from that. I expect there to be more dry time than wet time, but we should be ready for the occasional shower or a pop-up thunderstorm over the next couple of days. One or two of those could be strong this afternoon. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. This Saturday is the Spring Taba Walk in Old Town Cornelius. The area's premier arts and music festival is a fun-filled event with something for the entire family, including 2 stages of live performances, local artists and vendors, craft breweries, food trucks, a petting zone, kid areas, games, giveaways, and more. We'll see you Saturday in Old Town Cornelius for the Spring Taba Walk. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by Trax Trio. The trio will cover a wide variety of music from a range of styles and genres, plus include their own original music. Call 704-872-9990 or visit the 500 Club online for more details on live music this Saturday night. Join Eastwood Homes for the grand opening of Peyton's Creek in Statesville on Laurel Cove Road, May 3rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Discover stunning 1 to 2 acre home sites, explore Eastwood's Build on Your Lot program, and enjoy tasty food, sweet treats, music, games, and family fun. May 3rd, don't miss this exciting community celebration. Hey Lake Norman, Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar is having their grand opening on Tuesday, April 22nd at their brand new Cornelius location, 9623 Bailey Road, Suite 101. Come out, try one of their amazing fresh smoothies, and while you're there, enter for a chance to win free smoothies for an entire year. Get the details and enter online at pulpjuiceandsmoothie.com. Again, that's Tuesday, April 22nd. See you at Pulp Cornelius. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Merlefest 2025, presented by Window World, returns April 24th through the 27th in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Hear the Avett Brothers, Bonnie Raitt, The Dead South, Watch House, Wyatt Flores, I'm With Her, Leftover Salmon, The War and Treaty, The Steel Drivers, and many more. For tickets, visit merlefest.org.
Macintosh Law is a proud sponsor of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. We're in our last segment. Time is flying. Forrest, tell us about your up-and-coming fundraisers.
Yes, we have a couple things going on. I guess first and foremost, I would start foundationally. We count on fundraising all year long, like a lot of charities
Right.
do. But to kind of make it all work and to give back to the people that donate. And we talked about like how it feeds your soul and so forth. So one of the things that I think fundamentally Hope at the Lake does is puts our donors in touch with charities and many different charities and really gets them in touch with their community. And we do that through what we call the Circle of Hope. And the Circle of Hope is simply a name for anyone that's a recurring donor
Okay.
of $50 or more a month to Hope at the Lake. And so we host 4 times a year these Circle of Hope events. And each Circle of Hope event lasts maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours long. We bring in anywhere from 3 to 6 different charities, usually the executive director and maybe some other folks. And they take the mic for 15 minutes and they bring to life what they do. And it's really eye-opening. So that's one of the benefits.
What date is that one?
That's run quarterly. The next one is on our website. And
June 12th.
June 12th. Thank
June
you.
12th, okay.
So that's ongoing. But if you're listening to this and you're like, hey, Hope at the Lake sounds like a great thing to get involved with, Circle of Hope, check out our website,
Yes.
hopeatthelake.org. You can join the Circle of Hope there, and that's a great way to get involved with us and come to these receptions, meet the charities, get involved in your
Yes.
community, meet like-minded people, and so forth. But the other thing we have going on, we talked about, veterans earlier in this show with the artist that was on. I think it was your granddaughter. Was
Yes,
it?
yeah.
So we benefit veterans in our annual golf tournament. That's coming up June 23rd.
Okay.
Race City Marine has come in for the second year in a row as our title sponsor, which is a lot of fun because there's some ski boats out there on the golf course, all sorts of stuff. We have
Where is the golf
the
tournament?
golf will be at the Trump course
I figured it. Okay.
in Mooresville, but it's a great event. We've been doing this for many years. We have odd story, but actually my roommate in college is the reigning Masters Division World Long Drive champ. He's won it
Wow.
3 times so far, including last year. But he comes out and puts on a show and hits the ball almost 400 yards, and it's
Wow.
amazing. But
Nice.
it's a fun day. One of the most special things we do that day is we bring in some active duty military folks, generally from
Wonderful.
Fort
Yeah.
Bragg. We did have the honor of a gentleman named Patrick Payne coming once, who's a Medal of Honor recipient 1 year, but we've had some Black Hawk pilots. We've had, I'm in touch with a few of them now. We usually have about 5 to 10 every year that come in, and we ask them to enjoy the day and mix with the folks. And we bring in some distinguished veterans as well. But we're helping Richard's Coffee Shop, which is a
Yes. Know it well.
mainstay here
Yeah.
in Mooresville, and Piedmont
Yeah.
Veterans Assistance Council. So we've been able to help them to the tune of about $15,000 each last year.
Wow.
And expect to do the same this year.
Yeah.
So June 23rd, you can sign up again, hopeatthelake.org. You
Okay.
can find out
Good.
how to sign up if you want to buy a foursome and participate in the day or get some signage there. It'd be great.
And then I think you have a fall gala fundraiser coming up, right? I think I
Yes.
saw something around Halloween.
Yes, it's October 17th this year, and it's also held at the ballroom at the Trump Club. And they have done a fabulous job. We have Larry Sprinkle, who is
Oh, yeah.
a TV anchor,
Yes.
and he has been our auctioneer in the past. And we have it's a open bar. It's a surf and turf dinner. There's dancing. There is
Full costume.
full costume. Trump Realty does a $500 costume prize.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and a lot of fun. And we have our board does a fabulous job of putting together different auction items, and we were able to raise almost 200,000 last year. So, and we're
Nice.
hoping this year that we exceed that by a lot. The tickets are $175, and you can actually get a table of 10 with a bigger discount. And that
Wow.
would allow you to have a sponsorship where you would have your logo
Yes.
and everything
Yeah.
promoted. So it's just a great opportunity to bring everyone together at a fun time of year.
That's right. Well, I think it's important for everybody to go onto your website to learn more about what you really do. Because
Yes. And like Forrest said, those receptions are wonderful because
yeah,
they give you a chance to have those side conversations
That's
with
right.
people and to connect. And that's what it's all about.
that's right.
Yeah, I think that's so critical because when you think of, the first question we get is, we're a charity that supports other charities. So the natural question is, hey, why wouldn't I just support a charity? And you should. But we've really tried through Circle of Hope to create a mechanism that really gives something more than just helping
You can
one
do
charity.
so much more. There's
Yeah,
power
and
in numbers.
yeah, and folks can
Yeah.
really get in touch with what's going on in their community, and even folks that are really active in the community. Probably 50% of the charities that they see that the executive directors come in and talk to us, they didn't realize existed.
Yeah.
And that goes on. We have a spreadsheet going of charities that we've helped over the years that is over 50 charities long. I mean, just in the last 12 months, I was just counting this morning, I believe we helped 12 charities in the last 12 months.
Wow.
But if you go back a couple of years, we're probably over 30 different
Yeah.
charities in the Lake region. So there's a lot of good work, as you guys know more than anyone, a lot of good work going on in this community. And that's what Hope at the Lake is all
It's a
about.
great network to be a part of, isn't it, Margie, to be
is.
part of a nonprofit?
It
Well, I
is.
know, Forrest, that you have a passion for flying planes. So tell us how you turned your passion into purpose recently during our hurricane disaster that we had here. What did you do and why did you do that?
Well, it just kind of happened, right? Because Hurricane Lane came through and Western North Carolina was in desperate need of supplies. Probably the most eye-opening, touching part for me was up at the Statesville airport. People wouldn't know this unless they were in the line. There was a line of cars for a couple days in a row that was over a mile long, and people were waiting over an hour to donate supplies. I mean, it really was amazing. I've been flying since 1998, and it is just a fun hobby, passion of mine, and it was easy to put that to good use and run all those supplies over and over again out into the mountains. And so it was a privilege, and it was really heartwarming to see the community come together. I took a lot of pictures of what was going on in that hangar. I mean, they had 100 volunteers in the hangar, and they had a canteen set up, and there's lines of cars and organizing all the supplies. And then a bunch of us that had planes and had the means were picking it up and bringing it out to different airports out in the mountains.
Thank you for doing that. That's incredible. And to me, that's what visible hope looks like, right? You know, we were all probably faced with, well, what can we do during a time like that? But you seem like a person of action, and you took a responsibility to address a need. And I think that for those of us that didn't have a plane but had the opportunity to donate, it's wonderful to know that someone like you exists to be able to do something like that for our community.
Well, honestly, I almost felt guilty because I love to fly, and I'd come back and pick up at Statesville, and they'd be thanking me, and I've been looking at them with sweat dripping off, and they're hauling boxes, and they're the ones to thank. I mean, it was a total community effort, and it was really moving to see that.
That just shows how close-knit we all are.
Well, this community is incredible, right? How we've talked about this before. You throw a pebble out into the lake, and the ripples that go and go.
Yeah.
It's like your foundation too. You throw that pebble out, and you never know where that ripple is going to land and whose life it's going to touch. With if it's a little girl with brain cancer, or a foundation that's feeding people or something, or homeless folks. You never know what that's going to do. And when we cooperate and work together as a community, that word is so important, because we're just a group of like-minded people who all have the same goal: to provide hope and healing and smiles in our community. And this is the way we should be all working together to make these things happen so that no one suffers. And I applaud the work that you're both doing in making a difference in this Lake Norman area. It's incredible to hear and to know the folks that there is hope.
That's it. And on the hurricane effort, we kind of touching back to we talked about the grant application process and how do we determine where money goes. Western North Carolina is not part of the Lake region, and we take it really seriously. I mean, we're stewards of our donors' monies, but we had a special announcement at our gala last year to help Western North Carolina for those that wanted to donate specifically to that, and we worked through Samaritan's Purse to make those donations, and that was how Hope at the Lake helped there as well.
In the minute we have left, did you want to say something?
Actually, I was going to say what Forrest said. I was going to say how important it is to be flexible when you're trying to evaluate things, because we didn't know the tragedy was going to strike, but within
how deep it was.
But we pulled through with the community. We raised additional funds.
I know Little Smiles went right after there too, with all the presents and blankets.
I think one of the lessons learned from COVID was interesting what transition looks like, right? Because that was a period of time that there was the fear of the unknown. We didn't know what was happening. And it was the same thing with the hurricane, right? We didn't know how big the impact was going to be. We didn't know how much tragedy there would be. But we all pulled together. We learned, we didn't stand in fear. We all learned that we've got to be action driven and do something about it. And I think that's what your foundation demonstrates, is that you are action driven, that you are ready to provide hope and healing where it's needed. And I think that folks, if they go to your website, they will learn more about the amazing work that you've done in our community. And again, I want to congratulate you for making that impact happen, because without folks like you, some nonprofits won't survive.
That's right.
It's a very tough funding market out there. We're all in competition, and to know that there are people such as yourself out there that can come alongside of us to make hope happen. Just like Jocelyn is a hope dealer, you are hope dealers as well. And we are delighted that, you're a part of that and making that happen. So again, thank you for being a guest on our show today.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's been wonderful learning.
Yeah, picking up on what you just said there, I think that's what we try and do with Circle of Hope, is bring more people into the Hope Circle.
Make it bigger.
Absolutely.
Keep getting wider and wider. That's incredible.
And they can't be afraid to donate in any level. I mean, donations come in all shapes and sizes.
That's
and
right.
if you're just in it, then we all win.
Awesome. Thank you.
You better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W260.